Well, lumpy.
It was too good to listen to. Get 2 pairs of designer glasses for £100.
Pine cones everywhere, erected by the members of the Relief Church Kelso as a testimonial of their respect and esteem for the private worth and ministerial excellence of the late Reverend William McShane, their pastor who died on the 29th of July 1836, in the 36th year of his age and the 8th of his ministry. Fair enough, a nice wee monument for him. 36, that's awfully young, isn't it? Oh, it is not warm today. Let's go find Accies. It's a good tree. I like that tree. I like that. Public school for 1878. And Kelso Abbey. It's not particularly bright. I'm hoping you can see. Let's see what the cycle says. Dryburgh Abbeys up this way, so there's Melrose and Jedburgh. And we're at Kelso. And we'll see if we can make Melrose as well today. That'd be good. It doesn't look like there'll be much breaking into necessary here. It's all very open, no scaffolding. That's nice. I like that. Crows are shouting at us. I like crows. I think my camera's trying to account for the light, but it keeps making it quite dark. Look at this. Gates chained, open all year, April to September, October to March. 10 to 4, so it should be open, but there, look. So we're not getting in. Another monument Abbeys. So this is very, very public. The fences could be jumped over fairly easily, but lots of eyes would see us. Get around at all when it's closed. Yeah, I know. Seeing that it actually looked like it was fairly open on our approach, so pretty disappointing. Let's see if we can get that looking at these. Not really. Oh, it is just not warm. Very cold. Not much of a wind or anything, just generally freezing. It sucks. I hate being blocked out of places. I mean, there's a lot of open plan variousness around Melrose. Even if there was danger of falling masonry, there'd be plenty of places where you would not be in danger of being struck if you were to wander around it from the looks of it, but that's fine. To the glory of God and in honoured memory of them of this town and district who fell in the Great War of 1914 to 1919, greater love hath no man than this. We War Memorial Summation. I might have some pounds actually. Ah, I do have a quid. I knew I had a quid. Look.
Ex-serviceman?
Yeah. Dryburgh Abbey Hotel. It is not the hotel we are here to see, it is the Abbey through these trees we're going to try and get to. It's fencing round some of it. Seems to just be the way of things now. Everywhere is fenced off. And we've got our ticket office and a wee shop. That's nice, it'll be a place of refuge for the freezing cold, I'm hoping. No, buy your tickets here. We are Historic Scotland members. So I'll be doing that tech awareness. Make sure we're covered. Tree's got a plaque on it. I saw that some of the trees were plotted on a map. They have names. Well, we've got the Norway maple. What's this one? I feel weird walking over the grass. I don't usually like walking over grass unless there's paths through it, but I seem to encourage it here. We've got an Atlas cedar. Nice big tree, that. And there's picnic benches, meaning that folk must be encouraged to walk over the grass. Still feels weird. That sun is very bright. I'm not sure how that's going to affect your visuals here. Oh, this tree's got another wee plaque. Oh. We've got another Atlas cedar. Oh, I bought gloves in the wee gift shop there because it's just too cold. I shouldn't have come out with them. Californian redwood. That's interesting. Seems to have definitely been here for a while. Memory of Peter Stirling. Peter, son of Stuart Erskine Stirling. A nice grave marker. Okay. Got your usual skull and crossbones on this yin. That looks quite old. 1771 is the only year I can catch on that. This is Dryburgh Abbey. Come out a wee bit. Erected by all ranks of the Royal Horse Guard, 7th Hussars and 17th Lancers, of which regiments Lord Hague was colonel. More people coming in. I thought we had the place to ourselves for a minute there. I've been kicking over the mushrooms. I've spotted a sign that says no access, but no access to what? We'll find out. Great Western doorway, 15th century. Good facework of the walling has been robbed. There was a large window overhead. The guy was saying that a lot of this place is fenced off, but we're still able to get in to see a really good amount of it. What's this saying? Dryburgh Church was the beating heart of the Abbey. The grandest and most magnificent building in the complex, it was here that the canons prayed at least 8 times a day. Perpetual prayers. The cycle of prayers and services was demanding. Tardy canons were punished for their lateness. This could involve being forced to stand while others were sitting, and vice versa. Long services brought other pressures, not least to bladders. Cleverly designed urinals were used discreetly beneath habits when required. Oh my goodness, they were peeing into bottles during services. Why not? We've got building Dryburgh. When the first cans arrived in 1150 from Alnwick in Northumberland, they probably found a large building site. Work began on the east end of the church and the east range of the cloister. The large team of builders completed the church in the early 1200s. Chapels and saints. The church itself was dedicated to the Virgin Mary, but included many chapels in the transepts and aisles dedicated to other saints. Did you know it was believed that monastic prayers were the most effective for saving souls? This encouraged people to become benefactors of abbeys to ensure that canons would pray for them. Some abbeys became extremely wealthy and powerful, straying from their original ideal of poverty. Well, we've seen that a lot within varying Christian denominations. All these fire and brimstone pastors in America ensuring that they've got their private jets paid for and their mansions are all paid for and equipped by their parishioners, because that's what God would want, of course. Now this says no access, but why is there no access? Because it looks like there should be access, doesn't it? And it doesn't look like anyone's looking. What would happen if I was to go down here? Because I kind of want to. Let's go down. I don't want to dislodge any stockfish. Nothing like that. So I'm not entirely sure if we're allowed in this bit, although those stairs will tell us at the other end of them whether you can or not. We'll have a wee look-see. This is the south wall of the church. You're standing in the north cloister. It was covered by a lean-to roof sloping down to an open arcade behind you. East processional doorway from church to cloister, late 12th century. That's fine, you can get in here, no bother. I don't know what the no access thing was about, because look, you can get in here no problem, so that's fine. I'm not exactly sure what areas were stopped from going to see. Book cupboard fitted with doors and shelves. Note the grooves for the shelves. It's nice that they factored that into the building of the place. David Stuart Erskine, 11th Earl of Buchan, 1742 to 1829. In 1785, the Earl of Buchan bought the ruins of Dryburgh, which had previously been owned by his family. He transformed a neglected site into a romantic ruin in the landscape and is buried in his family vault, which was originally constructed as the Abbey's parlour. So So I guess it's this tomb here. Good skull and crossbones in that end. Oh, that's been knocked over. Still got a beautiful window up there. No glass, obviously, but here's some more of the stones that we were seeing in that other underground place with the manger heads. Lizards and lambs. I guess they must have featured in some of the stonemasonry. Dryburgh's chapter house is remarkably complete, so it's not difficult to imagine the canons seated on the stone benches for their daily meetings. This was one of the grandest and most important places in the Abbey. Every morning the community gathered to discuss business and administer discipline, but also to hear a chapter read from the rule. The document detailing the principles of the Premonstratensian order. Although the canons took a strict vow of silence, they could speak in here as long as they were concise and addressed the whole room. No casual conversation was allowed. Burials below. The outlines of 2 coffins are carved on the floor. They mark the graves of important Abbey officials and were discovered during the Earl of Buchan's excavations in the 1700s. If you look closely, you'll find fragments of paintings on the walls. At one time, the whole room was beautifully decorated. The painted plaster is a very rare survival of 13th century art and is carefully monitored by Historic Scotland's conservation experts. The best preserved paintwork is between the stone arches on the wall opposite the entrance. Elsewhere, there are traces of painted arches. A repetitive pattern was painted on the walls to mark the separate seats for the canons. This was later replaced with timber or plaster arches. The abbot and his obedientries, assistants, sat in carved seats on the east wall. Disobedience. The abbot's role was to help and advise, but also to enforce the rule when necessary. Roundsmen, senior abbey officials regularly checked for any wrongdoing, such as hoarding private possessions. Offences were reported and dealt with in chapter house meetings. Punishments varied, but usually involved a beating, fasting, or exclusion from communal activities. The echo in here is wild, eh? I like all the different colours of stone bricks. It's quite nice. I wonder how old the glass in here is. And here's where you've got the paintings, the reflections of them. It's quite hard to see them. That's where I just looked from up there, on the stairs. It's amazing that these bits where the glass would have sat in are even still existing. I think the weather would have completely done away with them. The only permissible social fireplace. Fair enough. Lots of rules surrounding those that live here. What is this fence protecting? Is it so we can't go up the stairs? It's not really stairs to get up. I'm confused by that. The novices' day room, late 12th century. Looks like there should be a new river down here or something, doesn't it? There is not. There may have been at one point. Tempted to go back to that fencing to find out why that part was fenced off. Plenty of time here. So, community of Christ. The daily routine of the community was centred around the cloister. Strong bonds. Learning to live in a close-knit community was one of the challenges and rewards of monastic life. The gentle rhythm of daily routine and the constant company of others provided support to each individual in the battle against sin, but the atmosphere could also become claustrophobic, probably intensified if canons were sleep-deprived or hungry. The community welcomed novices, those who wished to become canons. The novices undertook a probationary period called a novitiate to determine if they were suited to abbey life. They were not seen as full members of the community and had their own quarters. Novices probably slept in a large communal dormitory, but the day stair may have acted as the dividing point between their beds and those of the rest of the community. And did you know premonstratensian canons were not monks but priests who lived together following a rule? Allowed to leave the abbey to preach, they were known as white canons from the colour of their habits. This 17th century drawing shows a canon wearing his canonical vestments and holding a fir stole. And then we're straight back up into this part. Okay. We may want to do that in a minute if we're going to get back to that fenced off area to have a look to see why. This may have acted as a kind of moat previously, though I've not seen any mention of a moat. Gatehouse and bridge over the water channel, 16th century. Oh, that makes sense. It's like a moated abbey. I'm not sure we've come across. We've not come across too many moated castles either. But a moated abbey seems like it could be a rarer thing. Lots of sounds of nature, of birds and things jumping about in the leaves. I keep thinking I'm seeing squirrels. This area of the abbey is closed. They're saying that's for health and safety. But, I mean, well, look, there's not really anything at all stopping us from going in, so we'll just make sure we don't get a brick to the head, I suppose. The other side of that good window. There's another wee. That's that wee stairwell that we were in before, so I assume this is only here to stop us from getting to this specific outside area. So, alright, we weren't missing much, but it's always nice to check. And it's open. We'll go back in here. Find that other gated bit. I think that's just that where we just were. Okay, so that other gated bit was down here, was it? It is a beautiful day for it, considering how freezing it is. Like, I know that there are cameras about. I've seen cameras. That looks like spiders' webs all coming out. Just this wee bit. There's not really anything here. Not really not stopping us from seeing anything new. Right, this way. What was this way? Should we come out this way? I don't know. I don't want to miss any of it. We've been here, I remember the novices' day room from the early 12th century. That seemed particularly early for a building that was still standing to any extent. Look at this, look at all these trees. The nature here is gorgeous. Private grounds past here. All this snowdrops everywhere. A big private house in there. So we'll not annoy the lords of the manor by traipsing on the ground. I'm sure there's not much for us to see. Something carved into that pillar there. We'll even see that in a bit. Reigate Abbey view. There's not any view through the trees, but maybe up here. There's that old house. I wonder if it was a man-made ditch that went around the most of the abbey. There is a river kind of near here. You can kind of hear it from here. I can't see it. Another Atlas cedar tree. Look how much glass is here. I'm wondering if that's been replaced recently, or I mean recently by 19th century onwards. Oh, looks like a tomb coffin. No markers on them to say as much. The high altar was probably originally in this position before the eastern part of the presbytery was walled off to form a separate chapel. And we've got some graves. Folk are possibly buried under the place. Some mention of Sir Walter Scott. Sir Walter Scott chose this beautiful spot as his final resting place. Scott was one of the most influential writers of the 1800s. He was a key figure in the literary Romantic movement and active in Scottish political life, transforming the image of Scotland at home and abroad. He made Scotland more romantic in the minds of those not from here. He basically acted as Tourism Scotland in the 19th century, where he lauded Scotland for its beautiful landscapes, etc., and how it was excellent places to come and hunt grouse and deer, etc. So you had a lot of the English lords and the aristocracy coming up to experience this romantic country that Walter Scott described in his books. Scott was descended from two borders families, the Scotts and the Haliburtons of New Mains. The latter family at one time owned the ruins of Dryburgh Abbey. After the Protestant Reformation of 1560, the Haliburtons took over what was originally the north transept in the Abbey church as their burial ground. The fine tombstone of John Haliburton, who died in 1640, is to your right. The burial place holds the tombs of Sir Walter Scott, his wife Charlotte, his son, also Walter, and his biographer and son-in-law, John Gibson Lockhart. There we go. Lieutenant Colonel Sir Walter Scott of Abbotsford, 2nd Baronet, died at sea, 8th February 1847. Aged 45 years, his widow placed this stone over his grave. Dame Jane Jobson, his widow, died at London, 19th March 1877, aged 76 years. That's nice. The north transept, early 13th century. Hague of Bemerside. The headstone on the field marshal's grave is the same as those placed in many lands over his comrades who fell in the Great War. Struggling with all these stairs, Accies?
Right. You walk.
Yeah.
I'm tackling the tower on the right.
Okay.
You want to do the one on the left?
Okay.
Until I reverse down by the way of the right there.
Yeah, I'll go up and I'll get footage.
I'm gubbed. She can do the bloody tower on the left, I'm doing the one on the right.
I'll do that for you, Accies, it's no bother. I don't mind a wee hike. This is good. Stairs. I wonder what's down and up the stairs. No, this isn't even a gate. This seems just stuck. Okay. Well, we don't get to find out. Can't win them all. Let's see what Accies is talking about. Site of the stair used during the night services from dormitory to church, also known as the night stair. Okay. I'm not sure what he means left and right, but we're just going to go round all of it, shall we? So, this is up a wee bit. Better view of that window too. Life in the cloister. Below you is Dryburgh Abbeys cloister. The square court with covered walkways was a place of contemplation designed to be separate from the outside world. Premonstratensian canons. I'm never going to get that word right, am I? Premonstratensian, I guess. Canons took a vow of silence which could only be broken under strict conditions. However, this did not mean the cloister was silent. Construction work took decades to complete, so the canons would have grown accustomed to the sounds of masons and carpenters. Even the canons themselves could be heard as they often read out loud. Did you know? Canons were expected to be wide awake for all services, even nocturnes at 2 a.m. Monastic officials would shine a lantern in the face of any canon who looked sleepy. That's fair enough. I mean, they've signed up for it, obviously. The dormitory or sleeping chamber extended the full length of the range. Some decree of individual privacy would have been provided for the canons by means of curtains or timber partitions. The roofless structure before you was built in the 16th century as a residence for a member of the Erskine family, commendators or administrators of Dryburgh during its final decades. Canons used their cloisters to grow edible and medicinal plants, which were often planted in geometric shapes. In spring 2024, pupils at St Boswell's Primary School contributed designs for the grass cutting here in the Abbey cloister inspired by medieval gardening of the canons. From these, a pattern drawn by Anna Edmund, Primary 7, was chosen as the winner. The grass here has been cut according to her design, and it looks like she's really just gone with a saltire, which you can't fault a saltire, not in Scotland. And there's where we were down before. There's only just the one place to go in here that I've seen, which is here. And I'm not sure what Accies was saying. Does he mean like these wee bits? I like the stairs, but let's see if I can get some light. Torches on. Yeah. Oh yeah, I don't think Accies would have made it up here. It is very tight. Tiny little steps too. So it's only really just your toes that are getting any perches. Does this go somewhere? I don't know. No, it doesn't. But it just goes straight to the... Oh well, okay. That was hairy. Let's get doing it. Oh my goodness. Well, that was unpleasant. I'm glad I'm out of there. Oh yeah. Is he saying he went up this end? I am not a fan of climbing these tiny little stairs. But here we are. This one actually has an outside. Let's see what. Look how thin this stair is. I would want to see what kind of view this is, but yeah, I'm not bothered. I'm sorry, I'm not. These are so thin. You feel I'm going to slip right down? Yeah, no. We'll see how far Accies made it up with the pictures he took.
Knackered.
Oh my goodness. The steps are not big enough for both feet. And my feet are not huge. Horrible. That is horrible. Okay. I think we've done the 2 towers. We did the thing. It's fine. Don't need to get to the top. No regrets about it. Right, well, back down we go. We're going to go and see that pillar to find out what it's about. How far did you make it up the towers?
Yeah, up to the top.
Like to get the view? Oh no, I didn't. No, these stairs are way too narrow. Like the other one you can get up, but it's the other one that you didn't get. The one to the left was easier to get up, but it had a roof to it. You couldn't get right up it. Like, but no.
That's in narrow stairs.
Yeah. You couldn't even fit 1 foot on some of them. Like, yeah, not a fan of that. Nope. I'm only just hearing your echo. 2 seconds. What are you saying?
Does that mean Accies one, Jerry? No?
Well, I would suggest you've got photos that I don't have for the top of the thing.
That's a video.
Right, aye. No, I stood there for a minute, deciding on it, but no.
Yes.
No.
Accies one, Jerry, no.
Good job, I'm not competitive, eh? I'm just hearing your echo, I'm away. Why would they close office? Because I want to get back across to the gatehouse, so do I have to walk? I don't want to go down. Do I have to go all the way around? Probably. Okay. Alright, Dryburgh, you win. Let's see what this carving is. Couldn't you see it for far away? Like an armoured man. It's like an armoured jester, to be honest. James the Second of Scots. James the Second of Scots. Well, I'm not sure how happy he was with that depiction, because he does look like a bit of a jester. Do I have any other information on this? Oh. So, what it says. I don't know if it'll maybe be easier to see on camera. This Earl died at Dryburgh the 19th of April 1829, aged 87, I think, years into I don't know, in the old abbey. I don't know. It'll maybe be easier on the camera. These figures were cut by George Burnett in Newstead, and the lettering by D. Forson in Dryburgh by order of Sir David Erskine. Okay. Oh, there we've got another. Those tassels look like a strange addition. Looks like some kind of coin purse or something for a second there. James the First of Scots, that is. Quite fancy men from their outfits, weren't they? What is this? Man in armour with a staff or up banner. So it's got a saltire, and then Hugo de Morval King's Banneret. There you go. Not sure how well he's seen though. Here you've got the saltire, then the name. You've got his head here. His arms. Not sure what this is. There's a hand, his right hand. Okay. I believe that this is it for Dryburgh. It's no mean place. It's fairly extensive grounds. I'm a bit sad I didn't make it to the top of these stairs, but there's no way. I'm not looking to invite death. And if Accies has a video, then you'll get to see it, so you're not missing out on anything. Let's go down this bit. Oh, is this a bit that was blocked off from the other side? Maybe. Might not be able to escape it this way. Yeah, this is all your mind your head stuff. Later cellars from the 16th century. Maybe we could climb back through the bars, I guess.
All moved.
In 1 mile, take the exit on the left, then enter the roundabout.
That's why I bring it
I
up.
know that's it's a gift. Yeah, it's amazing.
Guess it's what?
It's just, I'm just taking a treat.
What for?
Okay, I've got...
Right. Okay. You take your compliment.
Right. It's a fuck power. Myself.
You did. You did, Mum.
Did they film in the right good bit?
I'll need to see what footage you got walking throughout the top.
Take
Like,
the exit on the left,
that
then
one,
enter the roundabout.
that one step that was just like so narrow.
I know,
Nah.
There's a higher one, I know.
Yeah, no. Getting down again was a pain in the arse too. Like,
I watched my own son die.
the other tower, like I say, it was easier to get up. The steps weren't quite as narrow. They were still not quite as narrow.
Aye.
And if that had had a top
At the
area, that would
roundabout,
have been good.
take the
but-
first exit to M73.
Thousands die. Officials 12 salads.
You're supposed to be going that way.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
But people do feel really, really good about this. Stephen says this is a no-brainer. I can't believe we're still debating it. For goodness sake,
I was too busy gloating at that fucking
Yeah, you were.
thing.
You were.